Bad pick.
Hello, and welcome back to another wonderful session of Players of the Realms featuring the Dapper Dans this evening. We're going to be down a goblin this evening. Yep. So, unfortunately, we will not have Fennec. So, no one should be lusting after that forbidden room, at least for the session. With that, we're going to just jump into a quick recap. The Dapper Dans, or at least the majority of the Dapper Dans, had begun to face legal woes. Long story short, it ended in 2 brandings, a warrant out for an arrest, as well as unofficial bribery to allow a certain member and her friend and her ward, or excuse me, her bodyguard, off with little to zero consequences, and culminated in Ceres finally getting one of her underground connections. This one, in specific, is within the Boromar clan. The name of that individual that she had met was Garrus Lakeland. He is the one that is in charge of the Rote branch of the Fen. He did make a simple request, or one that he deemed simple, and that is to exchange, without the knowledge of Body Knock Burning knowing, that these scrolls have been swapped, because he wants Body Knock Burning to decode a specific prophecy, or at least his version of one. He is paying 500 gold pieces per scroll that you swap, and this is going to be taking place while you go into Shard. Body Knock Burning, as you would all kind of know, is located within the university within Shard. We left off where, once the players found out that Ceres was no longer wanted for anything, and it was not through the help of Vashti. It was then that Levin decided to warn Ceres that maybe she shouldn't have been so flippant about it, and to think of the worst case scenario. This is in reference to the fact that Ceres is marked by the House of Shadows. So, realizing this, she ran off, and she was then spotted by a woman who had a mechanical eye, who she had a past meeting with. This then led to Ceres meeting the head of the Boromar clan and getting this job. Arriving back, everyone was, for the most part, surprised that she was back so soon. And remind me, Ceres, when you were explaining this job to everybody, did you mention the Boromar clan?
No. I said I basically said I had found a way for us to make some money while doing our favor for our Uncle Ram.
And it is at
so that we can actually turn a profit on that.
There we go. And it is at that point that we're going to jump into tonight's session. Now, do remember, after the night passes, we are going to jump the last 2 days, leaving you at the last day of your assignment.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, as you guys are, I'm assuming you are still in the dining room. Would you have been mentioning this in front of Vashti?
No, most definitely not.
So Vashti would have been asleep as you are discussing these events. What would you like to do for the remainder of the evening?
That is a good question. Well, probably would hang out in the dining room for a while to see if anyone, just to chat with anyone, happen to be there. But if no one seems to be in the mood, she'd probably head back to her room and sharpen some knives.
So
Gearfried.
that's exactly who I was going to ask. Sorry, go ahead and Gearfried, take it away.
Gearfried is going to take the evening and he's going to find his the first person he sees who looks like they're not currently like the first staff member of this place who's not doing anything in particular. He's my victim, and I'm going to walk up to them and just say, you and I are going to have a very in-depth conversation about the concept of a living wage.
Oh God.
And I am going to then take this young man's entire break or whatever the hell and explain to him exactly how much he's worth and why he should be getting more breaks and less work time.
All right, so you are going to be talking to Robert the Chamberlain.
Okay.
A livable wage. What is that?
Kierfried will explain in great detail all of these concepts.
So
And,
wait,
There's a manic light in his eye.
you're telling me
Yeah.
that I would get paid for doing nothing?
No, not that you're paid for doing nothing. I'm telling you, you'll get paid for what you're worth. If you're expected to work for all the hours of the day, you should be paid enough to live on that money that you're being paid. And then it'll just be like a very deep conversation about all of that for hours and hours, or at least until this young man is fully on my side.
And he is going to be continuing to butt back when the last comments will go before we jump to somebody else is going to be like, but I live here, I eat their food, I drink here, and what money I do make, I get to keep. Isn't that already a livable wage?
Now, if you get paid a livable wage, that's one thing. I don't know all of your benefits, and by the sounds of it, it didn't seem like everyone had that many. I'm just making sure that you're getting paid a fair wage for what the work that you're doing. And it'll just be about that, and it's going to be a very boring conversation.
You're going to notice that he just listens as you rant and rave. How about for you, Yami? You are hearing this job approach. You are being pitched. You are processing the fact that there is zero consequence for Ceres and Melee. You would see Fennec with the equivalent of an ice pack on his ass.
You know what, Fennec? You should probably go rest off in your room because I'm definitely not rubbing that one out. I'm gonna look over at Gearfried ranting and rambling. I'm not touching that because I don't even know and I don't care. Look at Ceres. Definitely not touching that. I don't care. That's fine. Is Mei Lee in the room?
Yes.
She.
Yeah, Mei Lee. Your training starts today unless Ceres has any other inquiries not to.
Training. Today, it's nighttime.
The best time. Quiet. And unless you want to sit here and listen to Gearfried.
Or I can go and meditate for the evening and then start in the morning.
Yeah, fair enough. You probably had a long day. I had more than enough rest, so don't mind me. I'm just restless right now. What about you, Cyrus? You want to train? Do some push-ups?
Not really a push-ups kind of go.
Maybe we could teach each other some. Maybe you could teach me how to be a little more sneaky, and I can teach you how to kill a fucking dragon.
I know how you kill a dragon.
Unless you want to sit here and listen to Gearfried.
You make a compelling point.
As
And
Gearfried
don't
is.
get me started on unions.
What's a union?
It's like a thieves' guild for normal people.
Oh god.
That's not accurate, but not a bad description at the same time.
God. Since when did this channel become about social activism? Oh gods.
It started as a throwaway joke and has now become Gearfried's personality.
It was because of the labor house, right? That's what triggered all
I
this.
think so.
Oh gosh, is Levin in the room with us?
I would say at this point, yeah, you guys were being sufficiently loud enough that he would have broke off to see what the heck. Right. What's going on here?
Ah, perfect. Just the guy we always waiting for. You want to train with us? Night's young. Blow some steam off. Unless you want to listen to Gearfrey talk about. And I'm not. I'm not even mention what he's talking about because I don't know what he's talking about. I'm not paying attention. So I'm just gonna point at him ranting.
I train sufficiently, but if you're looking for recreation, assuming I could be amused at what you attempt.
Yeah. Good. Team bonding.
Speaking of, Meili. Meili?
Yes.
It's approaching a time in which you might benefit from some martial training. You may want to consider who you request advice and teachings from.
And-
Yummy.
She's going to have a pensive look on her face as she kind of starts thinking about the various styles that are present within the group.
That said, would you care to observe what? Yami, I'm assuming you wanted to spar.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. I could definitely blow some steam. It's been a while.
Fine. Levin's going to look for any available staff members, and he has a small request.
All right.
There's
Sorry.
one at the end of the table.
Yep. You have one that's
Mhm.
being lectured by Gearfried if you want to interrupt. Otherwise, you'd be able to find somebody else kind of walking around.
Oh, he has a perfect interrupt for this one. A union is a club, society, or association formed by people with common interest or purpose.
Thieves' guild.
Oh. Well, that's interesting. Can I help you?
Clubs,
Can,
guilds, or the like.
can I help you, sir?
Um,
And you're going to see like a
yes.
desperate look on his face.
Yes. Do you have chalk available?
Yes, I believe so.
Might I be able to request 2 pieces from you?
Sure. And
Me and this individual, and he gestures towards Yami. We're going to have a spar, and so as to not agitate or upset anyone, we will be using these in the spar.
what did you just say towards the end?
Basically, he's saying, get me a couple of pieces of chalk. We're going to use these to spar with instead of, like, weapons.
Okay. Well, sure, but if you are going to spar, use the vestibule. It's the biggest and most open area. Just move anything that you can.
We'll clear an area. Thank you.
And the individual is going to walk off in a very enthusiastic manner and hurry off to go get chalk.
He's like,
You
I
interrupted
could
my
get
lecture.
wages. He's like, I could get
interrupted-
benefits.
You interrupted my lecture, but I am very interested in watching you and Yami fight, so I will sit by and
That's
watch.
fine. Yami, would you want to agree to a short set of ground rules before we start?
Yeah, of course. What do you
Okay.
got?
I would say each person has a moment to prepare. We take a piece of. I requested chalk. We take a piece of chalk, and whoever has more chalk on their bodies at the end of, say, like half a minute, we'll just consider that winning the spar.
Fair enough to me.
We're just showing a short. We're just showing a short exhibition to give Melee a better idea of who maybe what she wants towards martial training.
Got it. Her preference style, but I'm a little curious there, Levin. I haven't seen you really with swordplay. So what are you gonna throw the chalk at me? Well, I'm gonna look up. Like, well, you're probably pretty accurate at that, but I'm very
Well,
curious.
considering that the idea of martial training is more than just strikes, but taking advantage of opportunities, setting up battlefields, like we could get into the nitty-gritty of it, but this is more of a precursor towards an idea of what she should consider for her training.
Well, you definitely piqued my interest, and you know what? Definitely use some bonding time. Come on. What about you guys? You gonna sit there and watch us?
I'm interested in watching. Also,
There yawns.
also that shield that you let me borrow, I did something interesting to it, and I'm curious to see how it works in practice. If anyone wants to try hitting me a little bit later.
I'm pretty sure there's a few people who want to do that. As I'm still, I look at the butler as he's leaving the room.
Staff here are simply uneducated, and I need to guide them.
You were going to notice that Serenity the maid was passing by as you made that comment. And she now has a clearly offended expression on her face.
Oh, that makes two now, Geoffrey.
Fucking hate this place.
All right, only a couple more days, and I promise we'll be out of here, and hopefully never have to come back. And I'm pretty sure, with our luck, we won't ever get invited back, especially everything that happened. So,
Just as long as we don't have to deal with house politics anymore.
this is why I hate big cities, and I stick to the woods. Wood politics are way better. But where should we do this, Levin?
You said that
maybe
It was requested that we go over to the vestibule.
Okay, perfect. There we go. Lead the way as I open the door.
Alrighty. So as you guys are lining up, I already did open up an encounter. I am going to have you roll initiative, and we're going to do this turn by turn.
All right. I did request a round of prep before anything would happen along that.
Oh, absolutely. Just before, I was just going to say, I would say that we're going to use this as a improvised weapon roll. So I'm going to say neither of you would be proficient with chalk. So it would be just a straight...
But I'm a great drawer. I'm just kidding.
I mean, I'll accept arguments.
These would effectively be just unarmed strikes or dagger hits or anything like that. The point is, like, it's not damage that's getting done.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of got that insinuation when you said chalk. Like, we're not trying to hit each other, but, you know.
But, you know, making sure, like, whoever has the most chalk on them at the end of it is, like, the point. It's not, like, terribly hard to hit somebody with a piece of chalk.
Yeah, like I feel like it was again like point based. Like I say, we're not gonna go obviously with the HP. We're gonna go like maybe like 3. Whoever gets the first to 3 wins.
Well, no. Just like however many rounds it takes. Like Levin said, half a minute. But if you want to go like 2-3 rounds, that's fine.
No, I'm not gonna go that long.
Ultimately, he said it. 10 rounds would be 1 minute.
It's also excessive.
So if we could go up to 5 rounds, and whoever has the most hits at that point.
Yeah, that's what I said. Either first to
We'll
3
see.
or like whoever gets the first 3 strikes wins.
Like I said, that. I'm up for suggestions here because I've never had PvP like
chalk
this.
fight?
So I'm down for the suggestions.
Yeah, either or. I'll let you
Alright.
again. If it goes quick, then it goes quick. If it takes a little longer, then I'll let you rule that.
It's just, of all the things I thought were going to happen tonight, this was not on my list. So I'm
Good.
going to
I'm
say,
glad. Welcome
first
back,
off,
Yami.
let me get you guys into the initiative so you can roll. This way we can keep this somewhat organized and it's not just a free-for-all of attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Oop. Sorry, 11. I shifted your character.
That's fine.
Yami, you're going to be moved into the ballroom.
Yep.
Alrighty. The hits below the belt. Okay.
Clean fight, guys.
Alright, I'm just trying something out.
You can take about a minute to prep whatever it is you need to prep.
Well, I don't need a minute. Anthony, in the Foundry chat, do you see what I posted?
Yes.
Okay. Not confirming the contents of the message. I just wanted to see if that went through.
Yes.
Alright.
Yeah, so I don't plan on using any spells for this. I'm just gonna get my stance ready, grip the chalk, and wait for Levin to get his preparations.
Can Gearfried use prestidigitation to signal the start and the end of this little match?
You're the ref?
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Cool.
This sucks when I don't have the mouse. There we go. Okay. So, you should both be in the turn tracker. Go ahead and roll for initiative.
Alright, one sec.
Roger.
And
Also, Gearfried would have turned on the lights in this room. I don't know how to do that.
Yep, give me a second. Gearfried, I will leave the rules up to you if you're being referee.
No
Right.
kissing.
Yeah. Rules are simple. Just fair, clean fight. After 30 seconds, we will end the round, which is in D&D time. That's 3 rounds? No.
5 rounds for 30
5
seconds.
rounds. Yep, 5 rounds. That's right. Right, 5 rounds, and we're not going for damage. We're just going to see how frequently one can hit another person.
Just basically showing off technique more so.
Pretty much.
More of a test of skill than actually fighting.
Yep. Alright, let me roll initiative real quick. Boom, boom. Okay. Right. For the first round, Levin's going to simply take the dodge action, and he's going to close distance with Yami.
Alrighty. Yami, you see Levin just immediately move towards you.
Defensively, I'm assuming, correct?
Not necessarily. Just
Just
are you-
at a ready.
Okay, alright, you're just tensing up, getting ready, positioning yourself.
And getting close enough for us to be able to strike at each other, because,
Yeah, we're talking.
it's not effective for melee if she doesn't see what's going on.
Yeah, melee
Yep.
fear is true.
This is actually going to be a learning experience for Yami as well, because I don't think I've ever seen Levin really hand-to-hand too much. So
yeah.
this is actually going to be... This is actually very intriguing. I'm glad Levin picked this. Alright, so with seeing him get ready, I'm assuming that's the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yep, Yami being Yami, just going to sit there. He who strikes first always wins, and I'm going to just try to attack, but it'd be disadvantaged because you're dodging, correct?
Correct.
So, DM, did you want me to just roll an unarmed strike without my proficiency?
Yep, just roll an unarmed strike.
Unarmed strike. Just keep it simple.
Yep.
All right. Well, so mine has a +7, so whatever I roll minus a 7.
Nope.
Well,
just
plus 7, you mean?
standard roll.
Just roll an unarmed strike.
Okay. All right.
Like, we're not trying to make it more complicated than it is.
Okay. I just want to make sure because I know we're just using chalk. So I don't know if I use my proficiency, but I don't.
Yeah, just don't roll damage.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. So I rolled. Taking a little second. I apologize. Why is it not rolled? What's going on?
I told you, Yami, you're cursed.
That's fine. Nope. That's why. I was... Wait. No. Am I cursed? Jesus.
You might be.
Possibly.
1 second. Let me roll. Because Foundry, it was working perfectly fine. Let me
Foundry,
I'm gonna roll.
inventory, unarmed strike. Just make sure you're targeting me first.
If you know your modifier is a +7, you can also just roll a d20.
Yeah.
All right. Save me. Perfect time. All right. So give me 1 second. I'll just roll that now. I'll roll it in a Foundry. A d20 +7.
At disadvantage.
Disadvantage. So I'll roll it twice, and that looks like it might be my disadvantage.
Yeah, 12's not going to hit me.
So. And yep 12.
All right.
So, as you attempt to react and get the first strike, you are unable to lay your chalk on him. Is there anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
No. So I'm gonna just like lunge in, try to do a piercing strike with the chalk, and I'm pretty sure 11 elegantly. I don't know how 11 would dodge that.
No, there's no elegance to it. He simply just gets a read on it from your shoulder on the fact that you're going for a stab with the chalk, and he's just going to move to the side on the outside of the arm.
Ah. Huh. And that'll be my turn.
Alrighty. 11, you are up.
Yep. I'll go for 2 strikes because I have extra attack.
Yep, I don't.
10 will miss.
Damn.
But an 18 would hit, I believe.
I got 1 mark on me. How would you mark me? Where would you mark me?
It's just like the arm that went towards me. I'll just basically hit you across the forearm.
Like a counter. Okay. Nice. Huh. Not bad. You are quick, I'll give you that.
It is your turn, though.
Okay, you're done? Alright, so same thing. I'm gonna try to do like a... So once he backs my arm, I'm gonna toss the chalk to my other hand and stab again.
Alright,
So,
go ahead and make your attempt.
D20. It's not disadvantage, obviously, because you didn't dodge this time,
No,
correct?
no, straight roll.
That
12.
was gonna hit.
All right.
By 12s.
Once more, you attempt to go for that stab, and he just sidesteps this time, or are you going to do a different movement?
This time, he's going to like swing around and go for another short stab. I'm just going to knock away his arm on the inside, like hitting him on the wrist to push his arm away.
Huh. Not bad. And that'll be my turn.
Alrighty. 11.
Going for 2 attempts at strikes. 13 will miss. And a 14 will miss.
So
catching myself and not seeing an opportune time, I go for the first attempt, reel back, and he swipes at me blindly, which stops me from my second attempt.
That was close. Now watch out for this. And I'm gonna like do a jumping like you ever seen Troy when he does that like Superman sword strike? Let's see how this plays out.
No, I got you on that one. 10 plus 7 will hit.
So I would I'm just gonna get him right on the nip of his left shoulder. So I'll mark his left shoulder when I do that little pierce. But that'll be my turn as I land back on the ground.
Alrighty. Is there anything else you wanted to do with your turn?
Nope. As soon as I touch the ground, I'm done. I'm just like, ah!
Alright. With that, Levin, you're up.
I would need my turn. Thank you. Roll it out. 16 would hit. Yes, no? Probably not.
Me to be 17.
Gotcha. So that'll miss. And that one will miss. Like, at this point, you're noticing Levin is being measured and careful with his responses, and he's waiting for you to basically stop flailing around before he goes in for a hit. But it's your turn.
I love how it definitely like you're more of a like not defensive, but more like measured, and I'm more just like aggressive. So this is definitely two styles. So yeah, with landing on the floor and then just barely weaving Levin swipe, I'm like my turn, and I'm gonna do like a backhand, but with the chalk, like spin around backhandedly.
Mm-hmm.
So
That'll hit.
17, and I will swipe your other your right bicep.
Good hit.
And that'll be my turn.
At DM, at this point, Gearfried would like to lean in and just simply ask Melee, any one of those fighting styles seem to interest you at all?
They both look pretty interesting.
Anything you think you could do?
Yeah, nothing that seems overly overly complex so far.
Yeah, Gearfried was just curious. Back to the fight.
But you would give me a insight check.
Okay, sure. I'm insightful. I guidance myself on this.
Do you want her to know that you're doing something?
No. Not great.
You would notice that she's watching intently.
Okay.
But with
Gearfried
that,
was just curious.
is there anything else anybody else would like to add in? Ceres, as this is going on, what are you doing?
She's trying to stay awake.
Fair. Are you still in the dining room though, or would you have followed them into the ballroom?
Oh, she's watching them fight. She went with everyone else.
Okay.
She's just like, it's like in her mind, she's thinking like crossbow bolt to the neck, crossbow bolt to the back of the head, back of the kneecap, crossbow bolt.
All of this wasted
Trust
energy.
me, Levin is having the same thoughts.
I'm waiting for him to throw the chalk. Hit me right in the forehead.
Oh god. So, with that, we should be on the last. Yummy, you were done with your turn, correct?
Yep, it should be 11.
This should be now the last round.
Yep. That'll miss. And this one will most likely miss. Oh no,
Ooh.
7.
Yeah. Did it hit?
Yep.
I hope it did. That's perfect. How would you after the back swing?
After the backswing, my arm knocks back. My left hand runs forward to grab your arm that just hit me, throw it to the side so I could strike at your clavicle with the chalk. Just a little dot, like boop.
Just a pinch. Love it.
Well, not even a pinch, just leaving a mark, and that's it. He knows not to damage you, even incidentally.
Huh.
But it is your turn.
I'm gonna look at my clavicle. All right, and I want to do like the scene where like we're kind of like I would circle you. I don't know if you're gonna follow me with the circle or you're gonna let me circle you.
No, I'll be keeping my front to you.
Okay, so as I'm circling, you're just maneuvering in the same spot around me, and then I will go.
Literally just turning my heels and following.
Yep, I will feint right and then go left and pierce again, but go for the midsection.
All right, make your attempt. 16 or better. That'll definitely do it. And that'll be 3. Your 3 to my 2.
And I'll just do the same thing, just nudge his midsection, right where the We're right below the rib cage. Huh. I wish this would have went on longer. Could have been a fun. Enjoyed this.
We were keeping it as a friendly bout. If you want to show her what a fight is like, we can change things up and show her now.
Well, I can't even argue with that because if you pulled your bow at any second, who knows what would have happened.
No need for a bow.
And Saris will sort of stage whisper, lean over to Melee. And if you want to know how to kill them, wait till they fall asleep.
Although, pardon me, Yami, if I may demonstrate to Melee the difference between a bout and a fight.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. DM, I'm going to cast Fog Cloud,
Okay.
and I'm going to crush the chalk in my hand and blow it at Yami.
You know, that's the first thing that came to my mind when you mentioned whoever has the most chalk. Yep. So as you do that, Yami, you are now covered by a dust cloud of chalk.
And I'll dispel the fog cloud as I have moved pretty much to the end of the room.
The minute the fog cloud would have happened, I would have dispelled it.
Well,
I do have to dispel magic.
You'd still have to wait for like your turn in a sense.
Oh, okay. I thought all right. So it's still not over. Gotcha. Go ahead.
The other part of that is you would dispel the magic, but you would still be getting hit with the dust of chalk.
That's yeah.
So yes, once it's your turn, you will be able to dispel the magic immediately. But
no, but it's not. So as you were 11.
But it was merely a demonstration of the difference between like a formal bout with rules and a fight.
So
all right, gotcha.
What you're telling me is cheating is okay in a fight.
Cheating is okay at everything.
Okay.
Melee.
Lesson learned.
There is no fair in a fight.
I learned that thoroughly.
It's only the win and the dead path.
I definitely have to agree with them. In a fight,
Levin's gonna clap Yami's shoulder. Thank you for being a good sport. If you'll excuse me. And he'll walk away.
Oh, definitely. But you definitely got to teach me how to shoot a crossbow. That'll be coming handy.
That would require patience on both our parts.
And I don't think neither of us have that right now.
I do. I'm not sure about you.
You're probably right.
Well,
anyway, he'll bow to Yami, he'll bow to the rest of the group, and he'll take his leave.
Yeah, I will definitely give a. I'll send out. Well, before you leave, I'm gonna hand out extend my hand out for a nice handshake. But that was good though.
Levin's not gonna go in for a handshake. He's gonna grip the inside of your forearm. Like that type of handshake.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I'm gonna do the same. And I'm gonna give him a very a proud smirk and a nod,
Simply a nod from Levin.
Now where Fennec went off to? Probably rubbing his ass out somewhere.
DM, you can close the combat.
Yep. Well, you did send him to bed, didn't you?
Yeah, no. Probably gonna go see how he's doing. I'll be back. And I will walk to my room with Fennec. Well, to Fennec.
And with that, is there anything else you guys would like to do for the period overnight? Or before we all rest for the night?
I'm good.
Levin's going to wait until Melee and Saris go to retire for the evening, because he has a couple of questions.
Alrighty. So, Saris, about how much longer would you remain in this the ballroom?
As soon as everyone else started to leave, so did Saris.
All right. Melee would.
Then this would potentially be a walk and talk. Not much of your time.
Yeah. Okay. It's like she'd be walking along, and I assume Levin.
Saris. What
This,
happened? You
it's
came
fine.
back to. You came back in a very short amount of time.
I solved the problem. It's fine. It's not gonna come back to you at all. Just a little bit of a side gig.
Cyrus, at some point you're going to have to understand that occasionally other people are going to care about you. And not in nefarious manners or matters of pity. It's just. Look, from what you've told me, you've barely lived your life. And personally, I don't see it as fair if circumstance happens to cut that short.
I'm doing all right. I don't know where this is coming from. You're acting really weird.
Not weird to care about the people you work with.
The look on her face says yes. Yes, it is.
Not that type of care.
Not that. I didn't mean that either. You're not even my type.
Nor you mine.
No, I'm just. I mean, I'm not used. I mean, I'll be honest. When I first took this job, I thought of you all as conveniently expendable meat sacks to help me make my getaway.
Well, serendipity. Not much has changed.
It's true. Well, I am somewhat partial to extending your utility as much as I can.
It's good to see that you're broadening your scope.
Yes. I don't like it.
That said, what happened?
She will look at Stop, turn to face Levin, put a hand on his shoulders like, I'll tell you someday. And she'll walk back to her room.
And he'll say just high enough for her to hear. That's not today. Right. Shake his head. He'll go to his room to meditate.
Mei Li is going to look close-lipped as she remains silent throughout the duration of the conversation.
Just maybe some considerations. Keep in mind what you saw between the spar and what we defined as potentially a fight.
Sure, I liked both styles.
Well,
Can learn more than one, right?
that is correct, but focusing on one for starting out is better than broadening your field of view a little too far. There's no need to jump into the rivers with both feet. But you don't also have to just dip a toe in either.
She's going to be slightly confused by the phrasing of your words, but get the general intent. I guess I have to start
Clarify.
training tomorrow, don't I?
You may want to consider an exercise routine, at the very least.
And I mean, I have been jumping out of windows and climbing up ropes. I've been getting exercise.
You've been performing acrobatics, but that's not the same as exercise. Ask
gonna-
Yami what
she's
his
gonna look
routine
at-
tends to be.
She's going to look at Saris. That's not exercise?
It
Saris
isn't.
is specifically gifted towards such activity. I doubt she's trained specifically for these things.
I mean, to be fair, I've been doing them quite repetitively for a long time. So, I don't know that I've ever had a routine. She like does air quotes. But I've been the things I do. I've done often, and often enough.
Well, I'm simply making the argument for a regimented series of activities or a regimented mindset would be of benefit for someone who has not done this at all. You would like for her to learn in a shorter frame of time than not, yes?
Certainly, and I defer to your wisdom on that front.
Well, I'm not about to ask you to figure out an exercise routine, but maybe codifying a few of your habits for her to practice?
I don't know what running from the constabulary with someone else's purse in your hand does for anything except motivating you to run more.
Well, then there's a simple start. Melee, I would recommend you start with running. Build up your stamina. If you can't run from something, then no matter what you do, eventually you'll tire out.
She's going to sigh at the thought of extra exertion. Not that she's particularly lazy, but the formalization of training kind of
Yeah, Levin's seen this before.
is not something she's looking forward to. But she does
I'm
not
going
seem
to be your trainer unless you ask me.
she doesn't seem apprehensive about it. Just that I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway type of mentality.
That's exactly apprehensive.
All right, but she doesn't seem to be not being.
Unwilling.
There we go.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
like gym class. Like,
Wrong-
we have to go
Not
Wrong descriptor.
particularly averse.
all right.
But that said, Levin will break from those two and go to his room to meditate.
And Maylee would be following after Cyrus.
Oh, when we get back to her room and like Sarah's is sort of getting ready for bed, she will like take a moment and look at Melee and it's like, just to clarify, I think they're all going about a lot of fancy words. Well, Levin was using a lot of words to say basically, when you're practicing, there are winners and losers. When you're fighting, there's the one who walks away and then there's one bleeding in the gutter.
So make sure that I'm the one that walks away. Understand?
That is the point, yes. When those are the stakes, rules tend to go out the window.
I could believe that. So it's either run away or make sure you walk away.
Run away or make sure you have the luxury of being able to walk away, yes.
Understood. You are going to see her a very serious expression on her face as if she is taking your words to heart.
And now I'm going to sleep.
All right. She too is actually going to meditate this evening.
Yeah, Sarah isn't actually sleeping, she's going to meditate.
Because for the longest, Maylee has actually been sleeping. Or at least as far as you know. Dun dun dun.
It seems really boring to just lie there if you're awake for 4 hours. But you do you.
There we go. So, once she is done with the meditation, she's going to wake up well rested and she's going to go back to the ballroom and run laps.
Question. What are the
Yes.
other two goons doing for the night?
Let's find out.
You can start
So,
with
Gearfried and Yami jumping back because I forgot to come back to you. I apologize, gentlemen. I
All
forgot
good.
about you.
I was enjoying that little note. But go ahead. You can start with Gearfried. I'll just be in my room chasing Fennec around trying to ice his butt, but until I eventually give up and fall asleep.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he
So,
would not let me, but I'm not
hold
gonna
on.
speak for him.
Just to verify, because we're going to see his reaction in the next session. You
Yep.
are chasing to ice your adult son's butt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to give him some tenderly love. So we'll get there when we can get there and see how he reacts to that. Me attempting to at least.
It's when you say things like give it tenderly love that makes me scared.
You may be oversharing there.
I think I overestimated what I was trying to say, but yeah, I was just be trying to help him out. It was his butt though, right? You said earlier, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he took the brand on his butt.
I will be trying to heal it because I can heal him with my lay on hand. Well, not my lay on hands. I do have.
Are you sure about that?
Let me see.
Are you
You
sure?
have
I'll
cure
try to.
wounds.
Also, let me
I will-
rephrase that. Are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah, I'll give him like a little. I'm trying to give him a little smack on the butt. Like, get it all right. Let me heal it for you. Well, I'm trying to do that, but we'll see if he lets me.
Well, that's
I
something
don't know
that
how it's gonna
you
play out.
won't really be able to address in session.
No, that's fine. We can retcon if you want next session, but that's what I will be doing until I give up and go to sleep, or do it or go to sleep, depending on how it plays out.
There we go. Gearfried, how about you?
Okay. So as everyone is like starting to, leave to do their own things, Yami and Fennec going upstairs, Gearfried is going to kind of walk over to the library after making sure Cogfried's. He'll do like a cursory check on Cogfried and then head over to the library. And the first thing he would do is look to see if there's any novels or I guess just like accounts in history that are on these books about dragon marks and the dragon mark houses.
Okay.
And if
Sorry, go ahead.
he can't find anything like that, then he would instead turn his attention to books about what are they called? Ifriti and Genasi. Because he doesn't know much about his own race.
Okay. You wouldn't be able to give me a perception or an investigation to see what books you're able to find.
Investigation or perception. Yeah, my investigation is a little bit better, so that is okay.
All right. So with an 11, you are able to find a couple of books on the dragon marked houses, but they're more historical texts, nothing about details within their political spheres, but more on the lines of documentation on the dragon marked wars and their involvement within society throughout the war.
Okay.
As for books on Genasi, you would be able to find a informational book, again, more history and a blend of history and myth. But it's more about air Genasi and water Genasi.
Okay. Gearfried's just he'll spend like a good 3 hours doing that before like kind of realizing like, oh shit, I need to get to bed and going to sleep.
Alrighty. And did I miss anybody? Is there anything else anybody would like to do?
Good.
Now,
Mhm.
quick question, Gearfried. Do you still have Cogfried out?
Cogfried is by the MacGuffin.
Okay, I just wanted to verify that token should be active.
Yes. I currently, the thing I don't have active right now are my radiant weapon. I've got my vortex or my boots of the winding path, my homunculus, obviously, and the other thing I have is my shield, my bounce back shield, repulsion shield. Those are the three I have active right now.
Alrighty. So, before we go any further for the evening, we are going to take a quick 5 to 10 minute break so that we can refresh our beverages and, take care of some things that we need to take care of. While we are at it, check out our store. Use that QR code in the bottom left-hand corner to check out all of our stuff. We've got a Patreon that would give you access to our Discord channel so that you can participate along with us in Discord. Please comment, like, subscribe, check out our merch, support us any way that you can. Till we come back, enjoy.
While our players take a brief break, check out playersoftherealms.com. And if you need dice and other things like that, check out dicelegion.com and use product code POTR to get 10% off of your purchase while simultaneously supporting us here at Players of the Realms. Also, be sure to check us out on YouTube and Spotify. If you would like to support us, check us out on Patreon as well. All the links are able to be found on playersoftherealms.com. While you're there, check out our wonderful merchandise. We are in the process of adding more, so keep an eye out. Patreon subscribers receive a discount on all purchase, so while on the store it's more incentive to help support our wonderful cast. While our players take a brief break, check out playersoftherealms.com, and if you need dice and other things like that, check out dicelegion.com and use product code POTR to get 10% off of your purchase while simultaneously supporting us here at Players of the Realms. Also, be sure to check us out on YouTube and Spotify. If you would like to support us, check us out on Patreon as well. All the links are able to be found on playersoftherealms.com. While you're there, check out our wonderful merchandise. We are in the process of adding more, so keep an eye out. Patreon subscribers receive a discount on all purchase, so while on the store it's more incentive to help support our wonderful cast. While our players take a brief break, check out playersoftherealms.com, and if you need dice and other things like that, check out dicelegion.com and use product code POTR to get 10% off of your purchase while simultaneously supporting us here at Players of the Realms. Also, be sure to check us out on YouTube and Spotify. If you would like to support us, check us out on Patreon as well. All the links are able to be found on playersoftherealms.com. While you're there, check out our wonderful merchandise. We are in the process of adding more, so keep an eye out. Patreon subscribers receive a discount on all purchase, so while on the store it's more incentive to help support our wonderful cast. While our players take a brief break, check out playersoftherealms.com, and if you need dice and other things like that, check out dicelegion.com and use product code POTR to get 10% off of your purchase while simultaneously supporting us here at Players of the Realms. Also, be sure to check us out on YouTube and Spotify. If you would like to support us, check us out on Patreon as well. All the links are able to be found on playersoftherealms.com. While you're there, check out our wonderful merchandise. We are in the process of adding more, so keep an eye out. Patreon subscribers receive a discount on all purchase, so while on the store it's more incentive to help support our wonderful cast. While our players take a brief break, check out playersoftherealms.com, and if you need dice and other things like that, check out dicelegion.com and use product code POTR to get 10% off of your purchase while simultaneously supporting us here at Players of the Realms. Also, be sure to check us out on YouTube and Spotify. If you would like to support us, check us out on Patreon as well. All the links are able to be found on playersoftherealms.com. While you're there, check out our wonderful merchandise. We are in the process of adding more, so keep an eye out. Patreon subscribers receive a discount on all purchase, so while on the store it's more incentive to help support our wonderful cast. While our players take a brief break, check out playersoftherealms.com, and if you need dice and other things like that, check out dicelegion.com and use product code POTR to get 10% off of your purchase while simultaneously supporting us here at Players of the Realms. Also, be sure to check us out on YouTube and Spotify. If you would like to support us, check us out on Patreon as well. All the links are able to be found on playersoftherealms.com. While you're there, check out our wonderful merchandise. We are in the process of adding more, so keep an eye out. Patreon subscribers receive a discount on all purchase, so while on the store it's more incentive to help support our wonderful cast. While our players take a brief break, check out playersoftherealms.com, and if you need dice and other things like that, check out dicelegion.com and use product code POTR to get 10% off of your purchase while simultaneously supporting us here at Players of the Realms.
We are back, and we are fresh, and we're going to keep on going. As said, everybody has done what they'd like to do for the long period. Rest. Players, if you used any resources over the course of the last day, you can mark yourself as a success. As I pass the clock forward.
You said we're fast forwarding to the last day, right?
We are fast forwarding. Yep. So we would be fast
Okay.
forwarding about 2 days.
Then I'm putting Cogfruit away. I'm putting back on my radiant weapon. I don't want to have to carry Cogfruit out of here.
So ultimately, you have just one more day until this boss man is completed. We are on the 18th run, year 998. With that, it is the start of the day. Is there anything specifically that you would have done over the course of 2 days? So, just before the players decide what, describe what they would be doing, Maylee taking the words everybody to heart, has been waking up and going on a run, knowing that she can't go on the outside, she has been getting into the habit of going out and well, she would have also been seeking out for Rami and Levin at different intervals, probably interchangeably when one wasn't guarding or on patrol, to inquire about training.
Specific, if Levin was inquired for like different modes of training or exercises that could be done, Levin would have conveyed to her a couple of simple body weight exercises because we don't really have access to a gym here or the ability to run around at great length. So it would have been effectively just some resistance training, modified push-ups in her case, forms of stretching. Like, he's not ready to start her on yoga yet. Gotta get a foundation first.
You do notice that if you would you be monitoring her as she exercises in the sense of
Only to correct her form for, like, her first attempts.
go ahead and give me either a perception or a
Alright. $16 for perception.
she has a pretty solid baseline.
Hmm.
Flexibility is above par, particularly even for me. You notice that her basic structure for push-ups, she has almost perfect form. There are slight alterations where her hips dip or rise too much, but overall, she's able to maintain a cadence for at least a minute, minute and a half.
Pocket in the back of his mind, but seeing no need for corrections, he would simply just tell her, sets and ways to continue with it. Effectively, this is more of a consultation than an actual, like, hey, I'm your instructor, that type of thing, so he wouldn't spend too long on it.
Gotcha. And Yami, how about you?
Yeah. So I'm not gonna make it too much either and be like, all right, well, first off, you definitely have to get your endurance up and stamina. So we'll do some basics. Do like some jogging, jumping jacks, push up, sit up, the basic stuff. Like a gym. I'm sorry about that. My cats are chasing each other. Um, yeah, so just basic stuff like a gym class kind of stretches, right? The basic stretches, jogs, push up, sit up, squats, splints, planks. I mean, and see how she does. Then if I would have definitely see if she's keeping up. But I would be doing the workout with her. Like it wouldn't just be her doing it herself. I'd be participating at the same pace as her.
The buddy system.
Okay.
Yep.
Real quickly,
More military here.
Brother Moody, is this better? Sorry, we had a bit of an audio issue there for a second. Hopefully this is resolved. I apologize for cutting you off, Yami. All right.
Nope,
Thank you, my friend, for catching that. I appreciate it. So you two, and go ahead and give me the same choice of checks, either a perception or a medicine check.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna go perception. They're both the same to me, but I'll go perception.
All right. Let's see what you get. You would notice that, as similarly to what Levin had observed, she's able to handle your training methods relatively adequately.
Good. Can keep up. So tomorrow we'll pick it up just a little bit just to see what your limits are. But good training for today. I'm a pat on the back. See you tomorrow. And I'm gonna go back to my round.
Saris, what would you be doing over the course of these 2 days as Maylee's performing her training?
Mostly just staying out of the way, knowing that the staff probably still not a fan of Dismemberment Elf.
Is that your new nickname? Is that it? Is that what we're going for? Dismember Elf?
No, I don't think that's what she would go for. She imagines that's what they call her when she's not there.
Dismember?
No, just the Dismemberer.
Either way, she knows she makes them uncomfortable, so she'd avoid being around them or moving around too much to be seen by them. She would be keeping an eye out for Haley, though.
Gotcha. Would you be in the train watching Maylee train, or would you just be within your room? When you're keeping...
Just in her room.
Okay.
The training sounds boring to Saris.
That's fair. Gearfried, what would you be doing over the course of those 2 days?
I imagine he would be testing out the limitations of his new infusions. He might spar with Yami a time or two, just like figure out some battle strategies with how he can work with these things. And beyond that, he will try to make sure he keeps Fennec in line. He doesn't want a repeat of the whole door incident.
What types of security have you put in or monitoring the building?
To monitor this building or that door?
Yes. And I'm talking as a party. So besides protecting the office itself, have you set up any alarms or anything like that to trigger it for unwanted visitation?
Gearfree could very well have cast alarm on the room where the MacGuffin is. And Yami, are we still alternating shifts? So one of us is usually in that room.
Yes, sir. At least I would be.
Yeah. So the room would have alarm, and Gearfried would make sure to put it in a spot where we're not going to accidentally trigger it. He just needs to know if anyone gets close enough to that fucking thing. So maybe just around the case.
I think you can determine who can pass through it and who can't.
Yeah, you should be.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll
you can set your parameters.
Yeah, so I'll just set the room up with an alarm. Any one of the Dapper Dans can enter.
Alrighty. And would it be
Saris is probably just hanging out in that room because it's the easiest way to stay out of everyone's way.
That works. How would you be setting this alarm? Would it be a mental trigger, mental reaction, or would it be an audible reaction?
Let me double check. It's silent alarm, I believe is the spell.
Okay, that's what you're using.
Yes.
Yeah.
Setting my spells for the day since we just changed.
Yep, good call. If you need to change up spells, do so now.
Where is it? The invisibility. I know I have it. It's
Let's see.
What the heck? Where is it? I know I have it.
Just double check on your D&D Beyond sheet in case there's an issue with Foundry.
That's the thing. I'm looking at my...
The alarm spell?
Well, he's looking, I think, for silent alarm.
I know I have some alarm spell, but I'm not seeing...
It's just called alarm.
Oh, that's what I thought.
The name of the
There
spell.
it is. There it is. Sorry. Yes, it is just alarm, not silent.
That's okay. Good. I was right originally. Yes. Good.
Yes. Okay, so
goes back to my original question. Do you want an audible trigger, or do you want it to go into your head?
I think an audible trigger would probably be best.
All right.
Everyone is aware.
Sounds good. I like it. there is now an audible response that's set on the entrance of the doorway. Is there anything else you would have done?
No. That's it.
All right. And for the rest of you, is there anything you would have done to fortify or anything along those lines?
Besides my rounds, personally, no.
I probably would have. Do I have it? I do. I probably would have cast aid on myself, Gearfried, and Yami. And it'd just be a second level extra 5 hit points.
There you go. Would they be temporary hit points?
No,
It gives real hit points.
Okay.
Yeah, these are real hit points. We have basically an additional 5 hit points for the remainder of the day.
Gotcha. Awesome.
8 hours, technically.
So, as this day progresses, the morning bell rings for summoning everybody to breakfast. You would have Vashti, who is already at the table, sipping at tea and eating his morning food. Would anybody be joining him in the dining room?
Saris most definitely would not.
I probably would.
Gearfried will not. Gearfried's going to stay kind of near the staircase area, like kind of post up and mess with his infusions for flavor as he passes time.
Alrighty. Dami, as you enter, you feel that the mood seems to be almost jovial. Levin, what would you be doing?
My rounds would probably take me over towards the dining area at around that time.
Alrighty. I bet you are all going to be thrilled to be out of here. Being cramped in a house, even as large as this one, it's got to be boring.
Boring. Boring is fine.
I kind of miss boring.
I mean, yeah, there was that spot of trouble. But thankfully it all got resolved. And he's going to look in the direction, because he would have heard from the staff where Saris would have been. And he's looking in the general direction with a skeptical look. However, it was resolved, of course. But no harm, no foul.
I'm not certain that I would agree, but we've still to make our final report for once Horden has returned.
Indeed. Then
That
I
said,
can go
it will
home.
most likely be unpleasant.
He is an odd duck. Always has been.
You know when he's gonna be back?
Tomorrow.
It was
Oh.
discussed that he would be returning tomorrow should there not be any extenuating circumstance.
Hopefully early.
Indeed. The sooner he gets here, the sooner I can.
Yes,
You and I both, sir.
I'm certain you would want to keep him apprised of the goings on for what has been happening under his household.
Well, of course. And then I have to return to my own work. Because Lord Alden tends to be scattered of the mind sometimes. And you're going to hear
Question.
the crunching of toast.
This is curiosity on my part. How fares Caden?
Caden is doing well. He is healthy. He has been adjusting well since the kidnapping event. And his tutors have been seeing tremendous growth in him.
It's good to hear that he's healthy. As an aside, would there be anything that you would want for us to look into once we've returned to Sharn? We should be making our way there shortly.
No, not to my knowledge. Why? Is there anything in particular you're looking for? Or anything you need?
Nothing solid as of yet. I have a couple of leads to look into.
Well, when you have something that you are able to share, please come see me. I'll lend you aid where I can.
I'll keep the Orion House notified of business that they should attend to.
Just don't be overly assertive.
No,
As
just a letter sent. No business with knocking down the gates or anything like that. That's untoward.
I sometimes question that when it comes to your group's methods.
Levin's shoulders are gonna slump at that.
And he's going to look, even just because Yami is the only other individual, I think, in the room, unless Gearfried, yep. He's going to say,
No, I'm upstairs.
I hope you're not offended.
Not at all. I ain't do nothing wrong. So.
Not. It's just a sad state of affairs that's the assumption going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're what we would say are the shock and awe effect. You're like that bright light on a dark night. One that burns very brightly and disorients all. From what I've been hearing. After all, there was a strange incident about the goblin you traveled on in the train.
We've not stopped hearing about that.
Yep.
He's rather proud of part of that.
Yes. Yes, I would not be surprised at that fact.
If you'll excuse me.
And he's going to resume eating his toast. Jumping upstairs. So, Gearfried, where would you be? You said upstairs, right?
No, not upstairs. On that staircase near the
yes.
You're tinkering.
You're tinkering with your armor. Is there anything specifically you're working on with it?
Not specifically. He would be essentially calibrating his thunder gauntlets, making sure they're he's just got his screwdriver and he's just kind of like making slight adjustments. Occasionally looking up, just kind of like doing a brief scan of what he can see through the windows. Making sure, because last time he was like throwing his temper tantrum and the thing got attacked, so he's kind of like, all right, I'm not letting that happen the second
Mm-hmm.
Take the mug up.
Yeah. She's probably got like a dagger out and she's just sort of casually sharpening it. Being bored. I would have, by the time Melee gets there, I would have learned to sharpen my knife in such a way that the sound vaguely sounds like the whetstone is saying, Haley. Because I like the idea that my knife calls for her. Ceres is all about holding grudges. Mm, indeed.
Everybody needs to find out what room Haley sleeps in.
Nah, that doesn't sound right to me. Why would Ceres leave the job to somebody else?
That's right.
Yep, that was on the head.
Ceres does not like to share fun.
Yep. So, with that, set up. Wow, I forgot. I have Haley now stuck in my head. Maylee would enter the room and she would hear that whetstone going, Haley.
It'd be like,
Haley.
Haley.
Oh, God. Well, I'm assuming you're writing her name in your mental list if you haven't done so already, aren't you?
What are we talking about?
And she's gonna mimic the sound of your whetstone.
Oh, that. Yeah, just seemed to happen. Weird.
So weird. She's just gonna chuckle and sit down.
How goes the training?
Honestly, boring.
I suppose, but it's probably a better alternative to the terrible nature of. She pauses for a second. Consider it a better alternative than having to get it right every time the first time.
Well, after all, I do have to get better because, I am a bodyguard, of course.
You are, and never forget your first mandate is to run away.
Sure.
If you can. The last time we got locked in a room, that was sort of inconvenient.
Yes. Though Fennec does love his fire spells.
Indeed. No harm, no foul.
Exactly. Until later on that day. And she's going to chuckle again now that you two are off scot-free.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
As over the course of the day continues, is there anything in particular anybody would like to do?
Not really.
All right. With that, it is now nighttime. Dinner is served. And unless there's anything you want to do, we're going to get ready to take a long rest. Now, where would everybody be sleeping?
I'd be in the room.
I would say.
I'd be in my room, but I'd be taking shifts with my jigger.
All right.
Thingy.
Then I guess I'm taking the first shift.
I'd take second.
Okay. So it would just be the two of you watching. For about how
Ceres
long?
would eventually.
Yep. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Ceres would eventually wander down once she's finished meditating.
Okay. So I'll put you on the third shift.
Sure.
And how about you, Levin?
Part of his routine, he's been up early, so he's not taking first shift. He'd probably be resting over the course of first and second shift, and then getting up for third shift.
Okay. So with that, let's start this off. So, Gearfried, you said you were going to be on that first shift.
Yep.
Let's see.
Come on, let something happen. Let something happen.
Go ahead and give me a
Okay.
perception check.
Let all of the things happen.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I just want to read.
And Gearfried rolls a nat 1.
I'm choosing to roll well this game.
You're choosing. I like this.
I reject your reality and substitute with my own.
He said, I decided that.
It wasn't the RNGesus. It was me. The house itself is particularly quiet this evening. You notice that every now and again you hear the groans of a couple of the house staff. Somebody has acid reflux. You have somebody who stubbed their toe in the dark. Nothing overly dramatic.
Nothing raunchy.
But you do notice that the wind has begun to pick up, and there is a slam of a window shut on the upper floor.
Shit. Okay. Lightning so my gauntlets are on my radiant weapon. So is it like what's the lighting situation like right now? It's night. Is it dark or are the lights on?
The lights would be off. You would need a
Okay. Guess what? I don't need one. Gearfried is going to activate his radiant weapon, his gauntlets, which is a bonus action. And they now shed a bright light for 30 feet and a dim light for an additional 30 feet.
Okay. So you're a light bright.
You've activated my trap card.
So Gearfried is lighting up this reality.
Okay. Are you remaining in the room, or what would you like to do?
The others are fuck, I don't have Cogfried to go call out for everyone. So Gearfried is going to back up towards the door he's in front of right now. So right about here. And shedding the light for the 60-ish feet. It's dark on my screen, but I assume I can see. Is there anything around me that I can see in this like big open space? I'm right by the front door. Cool. Also, I have dark vision. What do I see? This is more to like negate any potential because I've seen the shit Levin can do. I don't know if anyone else can do that, but he only does it in shadows, so I am getting rid of the shadows. Gearfried is going to keep up. Levin, you gave me your schedule. Are you asleep right now or are you walking around?
You're on first shift?
Yeah.
He's resting.
Shit. Okay. Gearfried is going to tighten up. He's still standing in front of the door. I don't know if I'm just hearing things, so I'm just posting up and getting ready to call out that. Ooh, maybe I should prepare a spell. Okay, yeah. I have Thunder Wave. That makes the noise, right?
Yep.
Wave of Thunder is forced.
Audible within 300 feet.
Okay, So Gearfried is going to prepare a thunder wave then.
Alrighty.
And I'm going to hold it until I see something that is not any of my allies or any of the staff.
Sounds good.
So I will
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Another one.
Sure.
Hey, since it's bright, is the DC lower?
We'll see.
Ah, boy.
Easy as possible.
Okay. 16.
There you go. Same thing. You see a couple of shadows, but just as you're about to release the spell, you see that it was instead the Maid Victoria.
Gearfried does the maid Victoria normally walk around this late?
Well, if you've been paying attention to where some of the staff might be residing, you would notice that it seems as if she was coming out of Robert's room.
Oh. Big light on. Wizard waiting.
So you basically caught her in her walk of shame.
I'm gonna look at her and I'm just going to, I'm going to look her dead in the eye, slightly tilt my gaze towards the room she's walking out of, turn my gaze back to her, and then slowly shake my head in disapproval.
You're going to see her scurry off very quickly.
You said there was a window shut that I heard, though.
Yes, on the second floor.
Was she leaving from the second floor?
Did you go up the stairs?
No, I'm in front of the door, so I'm still on the first floor. So
no, she would have been walking across through the first floor.
Yes. Fuck. Okay. Still holding up. Then I'm not yet satisfied here. They definitely heard something from the second floor.
Alrighty.
So
As you're waiting,
still holding that.
I would say holding the spell would take concentration per round. How long would you be trying to hold on to the spell?
I'm gonna try to hold on to it for a minute.
All right. Give me a Constitution check.
Constitution. Doop. Decent.
You are able to hold it, but you begin to the concentrating of this spell, particularly while you're focusing on anything that moves and separating friend and foe. It does tax you mentally, so you find yourself struggling holding it for that full minute. Particularly because when you usually hold a set spell, you usually only hold it for about 6 seconds before.
6 seconds, right?
So to hold it for the entire minute, I'm not going to have you burn extra spell slots for that. But it is going to be a bit of a struggle, and it's something, and it's even going to go as far as your nose begins to bleed because you're kind of concentrating on holding this magics at the ready for so long.
Okay. Do you want me to take some hit points?
Nope, no damage, just a nosebleed from both nostrils. It's your body's giving you a firm warning that concentrating this long on magic is not necessarily healthy.
Right. If I see nothing within that minute, then I'm gonna let the spell die.
You wouldn't see anything in the minute, so you would be able to release the spell, and you would feel it's almost like that feeling of you didn't realize you were in pain until it stopped. And then you're just like, oh wow, I feel amazing.
Oh god, it's like when that bit of tinnitus finally clears.
Yeah, and it's like, wow, this is what it sounds like to hear nothing. Yep. So, with that, the rest of your watch is uneventful. Are you going to, before I declare that, are you going to further explore on the second floor after you release that spell?
Gearfried will wait until Yami is ready for his shift. I'm aware that this might penalize me with exhaustion, but I'm still going to risk it. So I'm going to wait until Yami comes down for his shift. And then when he does, Gearfried's going to go investigate the upstairs.
Okay. So with that, we're going to say that's the end of your shift. Yami, are you going to wake yourself up, or Gearfried, are you going to leave the room to wake Yami up?
No,
I was about to
I'm
ask
waiting. I'm waiting for Yami to wake up. I'm trusting, perhaps overly trusting. I hope he has his like internal clock, but I'm hoping he's gonna wake up for this because I am paranoid right now and do not want to leave my position.
Okay. Yami, is your internal alarm clock going to go off?
I will ask if you want me to make a roll to see if I can make this eternal, because it'd be yes and no.
Go ahead and give me a
So I
constitution
would know.
check.
There we go, perfect. So we'll call it as
You
we
want to
see
roll?
it.
I will give you a roll, sir.
You said check or save you want.
Check.
Okay. Let's see if I wake up or not. How tired was I? I think I probably double clicked it, so the first row.
Let's see. Don't see it yet.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything either.
Hold on, it should pop up shortly. If not, I got a 7. I'll have to connect this again, probably.
All right. With a 7,
What do you for me?
you oversleep
Yeah,
by about
best.
30 minutes. But you are able to wake up almost close to time, on time, by a half hour.
Sorry for all those. All
I
right.
can see on D&D. I can see on D&D beyond what you're rolling.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It glows,
Just-
so it's like.
So before we're not going to go too much into that, but just double check to make
Yep.
sure that your Beyond 20 module for Chrome is connected. That might be your problem. But,
All right.
Yami, you do make your way to the room after waking up, and Gearfried, you are relieved. Are you going
All right,
to?
as Yami.
No, sorry about that. My D was beyond. I have to reset it. It was spazzing out. That's what it was. Well, go ahead. I'm
Right.
sorry. Yeah. So we were good though for now. Yeah. So you said I wake up 30 minutes late.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you make your way to the room where you are greeted by Gearfried, who might be very frustrated.
I'm not super frustrated. I look more rattled than anything else. So as you approach, I just kind of nod and I say, hey, I'm gonna go check upstairs real quick. Because I've still got the alarm up on the door. Make sure nothing gets by you. I'm not 100% sure, but I thought I heard something a little bit ago.
Are you sure you in any condition to check? If you want, I can go real quick. Where did you hear this noise?
I heard it from upstairs. I can go check. I really don't mind. Besides, I'm
All
gonna
right.
go to bed after. I'm gonna go to bed after this anyway.
Alrighty then. So I'm gonna just stand by the Magaga thingy.
Yeah. And Gearfried's going to walk up the stairs and check out the source of the noise with his gauntlet still up, so they're showing light.
Alrighty.
I will
Go
wake this
ahead.
entire goddamn house up. I don't even care.
There are tons of windows, so you'd be able to start beginning your investigation. Go ahead and give me an investigation check. Or a perception.
Investigation's better than perception for me. Can I use an inspiration?
You certainly can.
We have 3, right? Go ahead.
You have 3. Well, now you have
Okay.
2.
That's better. I'll take the 11.
You notice that nothing seems out of place except there's one window shut out of 3 of them in the hallway.
Well, that's certainly strange. Do I see any indicators of anything from the window, like a carpet that's been moved around, perhaps a footprint, some mud? Anything that looks like someone crawled in and through this window?
Nope, nothing that you can discern.
Uh, I don't like it. I really don't like it. Uh, just kind of like cursory look down the halls, up around, kind of just observing the immediate area, like any dark corners. I don't see anything.
I'd say I'd be using your passive perception with that. So with an 11,
Okay.
there's nothing that you're really able to identify. Everything seems normal.
Hmm. All right. Gearfried's going to then walk downstairs towards Yami and simply say, I may have just been hearing things, or maybe someone wanted just to get a breeze or something. But yeah, I thought I heard something upstairs. I'm gonna go to my room now.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm up now. I'll make sure nothing gets through here. And you have that alarm still up, set up, right?
Do I have that alarm still up? I can reset it if I need to. It
I would-
lasts.
8 hours.
I would
Yeah,
say you can, if it would have expired over the course of your watch, you would have been able to easily re-up it. So that's something that you would have been able to do easily.
Okay, so it is up. So that is on 3 of my first level spell slots. Okay, so it's up again, and then Gearfried's gonna go to bed.
It takes 10 minutes to cast ritually.
Oh, I can just. Oh yeah, that's right. I can just use a ritual.
Yes.
Okay, so I just have one. All right, so Gearfried will spend the next 10 minutes setting that up, and then patting Yami on the shoulder, giving him a just kind of polite nod, and then walking off to go to bed.
All right. You go to bed. Yami, you are now alone on watch. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Gosh. All right. Hopefully this doesn't go bonkers now. All right. You said perception.
All right. What'd you roll? Because I think it's not coming up on Discord, on Foundry. So just let me know what you roll.
Oh, I'm rolling it now. All right, hopefully this goes through now because I just have it put up. So I got a 17.
All right.
Did it pop up?
With a 17. Let me just.
All right.
With a 17, as it gets quiet, the house itself it's pretty much the witching hour. The house itself is silent. No one is up, nobody's shifting around. When 2 or 3 hours in, you hear the sound of falling books coming from this area up here. Oop, I'm on the wrong layer. This area up here. It's as if there was a sound of a stack of books falling.
Not the study, the room on the first floor, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna walk to the room and open the door.
Okay.
I also do have dark vision, so I'm not using a torch or nothing. So
That's okay. It's still a monochrome.
I'm drawing my greatsword, by the way.
Okay. So you open the door. You have that little hallway. What would you like to do?
I'm walking to where so I don't see nobody. I'm gonna walk to where I heard the books at. Do I see anything there?
Well, that is across the house is where you heard it.
Yep, the alarm's up, so I'm walking towards that shelf where I heard the books.
Alrighty. So First, let me move you over here
Thank you.
and start making your way. This is happening middle to end of your watch.
Ready. I would assume been about. Wait, where can I go? Oh, because the door's closed. That's probably why. Well, yeah, I'm gonna just make my way there if you want to move me. And you said it'd be like towards the end of my watch.
Yes.
Okay. So knowing that Cyrus meditates and doesn't sleep much, he should be up eventually sometime. So I shouldn't be worried about anyone coming in or having to wake anybody up apparently or running to them right now. So I will just make my way to the shelves with my sword drawn and listen for the. Before I open the door, I'm gonna listen further.
Okay. So go ahead and give me a perception check again.
DM, you can get rid of the Cogfreed icon. He's not here right now.
Gotcha.
I got a 6.
It sounds quiet.
I'm gonna open the door.
All right. Hold on. So I'm going to put you here. Go ahead and click on it to open it.
Okay.
Oh.
Is it open now? Wait, I think I closed it.
Oh god, what's he gonna see?
Right now, as he enters that room, nothing, because that's not where the noise came from. But all is eerily silent.
No, I will walk. I guess this way. To where I heard where I know where books are. I'm like, oh yeah, the bookshelf. No, is that open for me? No, I just closed it. It's open now. I'm gonna
Alrighty.
walk in.
So as you enter there, once more,
Mhm.
as said, it is eerily and noiselessly quiet. In your time here, you're not used to it being this silent.
Hmm. Hmm. Is it like I'm gonna like try to whisper very quietly? Can I hear myself speak?
Yes, you can hear yourself speak.
Okay. Alright. That's silent.
So, real quickly, Gearfrey, which of the doors did you put the alarm on? That one there? All right. Out of nowhere, the sound of a high pitched alarm begins to ring out and echo throughout the house. Signaling that somebody has entered that room.
Snap. I'm definitely double dashing in there. That way.
So, real quickly, we're going to jump to those in their rooms.
Mm-hmm.
You hear the high pitched screaming alarm of the spell ringing out and echoing throughout the hallways. What is your reaction? Anyone? So,
If Levin heard the alarm, he would have bolted awake, grabbed his crossbow, and ran downstairs.
Ceres, what would you be doing?
You might be muted. Is she muted? Because I was muted.
She's not.
Darius, hello.
We'll come back. There, I
Yeah,
heard
yeah,
it.
Muted. I was muted.
There we go.
Ha, I knew it.
So you hear this alarm ringing. What would you do?
She would sit up, grab her weapons, and head down to. The alarm is for the MacGuffin room, right?
Yes.
Yes.
She's headed there then.
Alrighty. Would you have Maylee stay where she is, or would you have Maylee follow?
I would let Maylee. I would probably have her follow.
Alright. Alrighty. So,
And
yep.
oh, since I'm in my room, how far away are our rooms from the MacGuffin room?
It would take about 2-3 minutes to really get to the room at a normal pace. If you're hurrying, about a minute and a half.
Okay, then Gifford's going to wake up. Like I shoot open, cast Expeditious Retreat on himself, and like book it for the room.
Alrighty. As you are all starting to converge, you see at this point, you would have anybody who is nearing it, this individual was not being subtle. You would hear the sound of breaking glass as the necklace is taken, and as you start to converge on this individual, you would already be in the vestibule. This individual has taken it and left the room. With that, we are going to call it here for the evening.
Huzzah.
Oof. Let's see what's going to happen next. Because this is the second time somebody's managed to break in. First time they've managed to get that necklace out of the room. Whatever is this individual going to do when you're not there to protect it? With that, I hope those of you who... Sorry, go ahead, Joan.
I was like, just hire Haley to protect it.
Of course. Haley could protect it. For those of you who have tuned in with us this evening, thank you so much. Use that QR code. Check out all of our links. Support us on Patreon. If you support us on Patreon, you would be able to get access to our Discord channel and directly discuss and interact with us on the cast. So, enjoy your evening. Enjoy your weekend. Have a safe one. Till next time. Say goodbye, all.
Night.
Good night.
Goodbye.